had lumps out my face. Oh, I got battered, man. I woke up unconscious and some blokes pulled over and stopped it as they're all jumping on me. The man said, if I hadn't stopped my car, you'd be dead. They'd have killed you.
Tommy, I wanted to get into a little bit about some of the altercations that you've had on camera, some of the ones that have been caught on camera, where you've had fights with people and when people have threatened you. Have there been any off camera that people haven't seen where you've been genuinely threatened?
Yeah, loads, yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're...
There's been times
you must be worried walking around by yourself, you know?
I walk everywhere by myself.
Yeah.
So I'll give up on that. So, and there was a time I got battered, man. My face was rearranged. I got so confident. So, I mean, I knew from early time in Luton, growing up in Luton, you show them any fear, they'll walk all over it. Yeah? You have to stand up for yourself.
It's prison politics in those places, bro.
You have to, man. So I could be, and they have to know you're gonna. So if someone's going to say something, they'll think, well, he's going to have a fight with you. So don't say it or shut your mouth. Yeah. And I've been in supermarkets. As soon as someone says something, I said, get the fuck outside. Get outside. Yeah. And I'll start screaming, come outside, bruv. Stop shouting shit. And then most of the time their asses go. Most of the time. Yeah. But when I remember I used to have a sunbed shop in Luton Town Centre when I started DDL. So I had a car of them pull up out there and I just come outside the shop. Come on then, get out of your car, bruv. And another time then, so I'm at a service station in Luton, in the motorway, and I'm crossing and I've got 3 Pakistanis shouting at me from the car. So I was like, fuck off, lads, yeah? But prior to this, I've had a meeting with the lead imam in Luton. So the lead radical imam called us on a meeting and I went on the meeting, and at this time, stuff was hot in Luton, yeah? There was the mosque got blown up, there were houses getting blown up, there was 26 fire bombings, there was constant conflict. But for every action, there was a reaction at the time, yeah? So the imam called us for a meeting, I think taxis got done, and the imam called us for a meeting and said, we've all got to live it. I said, I know. Well, you jump out of a car on us, someone's jumping out of a car on you, basically, yeah? You're not beating us into silence. That's it, all right? So we want to walk the town, and he said, Tommy, we're going to make sure you can walk the town. And that was leading him. I said, I don't need your permission to walk the town, yeah?
Yeah.
He goes, no, what I'm saying is we have an influence over our community, and you will be able to walk the town. I said, I'll be, and then that's happened. And then literally they do have an influence over their community. Yeah. I'm then walking across this service station. I get down towards, and this car's following me and flashing lights. In the end, I pulled in, I get out. Oh, I got battered, man.
Really?
Absolutely battered. I woke up unconscious and some blokes pulled over and stopped it as they're all jumping on me. And my face, I had lumps out my face.
What, they just followed you around, jumped you?
They were following me, flashing the lights. I pulled over, got out of the car,
Yeah.
What? Because I was driving, it was near where I lived. So I got out of the car, and then just got battered, man. Filled in, absolutely bad. And then my face was fucked. And then I get to the hospital, I get taken to hospital. When an ambulance comes, I get taken to hospital from the side of the road. But if the man said, if I hadn't stopped my car, you'd be dead. They'd have killed you. And then I get a phone call next day from the imam. Tommy, I said, yeah. He said, that wasn't Luton Muslims. But he was worried, thinking if this has happened to him, people are going to want to react to it. But unfortunately, I said, growing up in Luton, some people question me. I get questioned all the time about certain things I do. I said, I know how to survive. I know what I need to do to survive. Yeah. And I'm not backing down. And that doesn't mean I want aggression, I want violence. Nigel Farage probably has a detail that costs £500,000 a year in security. So he doesn't get into punch-ups. Yeah? Not that you probably have one, but he doesn't get into punch-ups. I don't have that. I live my life and I still go where I want to go. And I had an instant, I moved, where my family had moved to, I went there and I went to the train station. I was getting a train back into Luton. And when I got to the train station, I stood on the train tracks and there's a Pakistani Muslim taxi rank there. And they're all shouting at me over the train tracks. I was like, fuck off. And there's like 10 of them all shouting and giving it. The next day, I just went straight to the taxi rank. Next day, I walked in on my own. I said, tell your man who was working here last night, ring him up, tell him I'm here. And the bloke's like, what? I said, ring the man that was sitting in here last night, because he come out of the office giving it, ring him up and tell him where I'm here now and I want to sort it out with him now. I've come on my own. And then the bloke says, can you come back here at 1 o'clock? I said, I'll come back at 1 o'clock. So I left, come back at 1 o'clock. I pull up, the owner of the taxi rank's there. He goes, Tommy, what's going on? I said, what's going on is I come here yesterday to get a taxi on my own. Yeah, I come here yesterday to get a train and your taxi drivers all come out giving it, threatening me, shouting about they're going to kill me and that. So I've come back to sort it out with the man who was running the office here last night. He said, and I said, I could have come here with 200 men. Yeah, I haven't. I've come here on my own. I want to sort it out with him. And then he said, Tommy, you have my word. None of my taxi drivers going to say another word to you. He was really nice, man. The owner of the taxi rank was really nice, Muslim gentleman. I said, bro, I just want to be, if I'm going to get a train, I'm going to get a train. I'm not picking fights for your taxi drivers. I'm not going to have them think they're going to intimidate me for my life, because essentially I'd have to keep running for the rest of my life. So, and he was really nice. He said there will be no problem, and there's never been a problem again. That was probably 6 years ago. There's never been a problem again from those. I see those taxi drivers all the time. They all nod. So, but if I'd have shown weakness to them,
it's prison politics, man. It's honestly, it's not for the faint-hearted. And one of the things when I think about you and the things that you go through is that you are a fighter in that sense. And do you think that there's an element of you that enjoys the scrap a little bit because you're a football hooligan before it, and you enjoy the boxing and all of that? Do you think that there's an element of it that keeps you in the fight because there's something about getting your hands dirty that you don't mind?
No, it's that. No, because sometimes I shit myself.
Yeah.
Telling the truth, I'm terrified at times. Terrified. It's just that I know, even when I go into prison, I have to become someone I'm not. Yeah. When I was younger, I might have wanted to be that person. I'm 40 years old. I'm a different man. I've got 3 kids, and at times I'm scared. Of course I am. But I know that I have to do that. I have to do that. What was the recent one? So I was with my kids. I don't know if you watched the video.
I saw that. At
the Luton football game. So I went to so I'm walking up, I've got my daughter on my arm. I come outside Luton football stadium, and what people were criticising my actions. I come outside and a man comes up and he verbally abuses me and threatens me and screams at me with my daughter there. She's got her friends from school there, yeah, with us. I take kids to football. If I let him do that so publicly, someone else is going to do it. Someone else is going to think I can do that to him, yeah? If I don't like him, I'll scream at him.
Not welcome here, mate. You're right. Why don't you fuck off, mate?
I'm going to find out who you are. And I'm going to.
Are you going to dox me, are you, and get around?
So the next day I turned up at his house. I knocked on his door. So I knocked at his mum and dad's house and said, tell him I'm here. You know, to get him on the phone and tell him I'm here. But I didn't. If he would have wanted a scrap, I'd had a scrap. I actually brought my kids with me. I said, he's going to come out and apologise to my kids. That's what he's going to do. And so my daughter needs to know that next week when she goes football with her dad, that this scumbag is not going to start screaming abuse him. And he weren't there and he wouldn't come. He shit himself. He rang the police. Then he rang up and he apologised to my daughter. But I use that as, do you think on a Sunday afternoon I want to be chasing down people's houses and turning up ready to fight them outside their houses? I had another one recently where they went to my mum's house. Muslims went to my mum's house. Essentially, you know those cars that I sent you the pictures of?
Yeah.
I'll find him next week. I'll find him next week. You'll see the video. I'll find him next week. If you want to drive 3 hours and you want to travel to my family's houses, I'm going to come to see you. I don't want to. It could be a hostile situation for me, but I can't let that happen because then it becomes an open floodgate. So if someone needs to know, so that groomers, when I was investigating the Telford grooming gangs, I've done an amazing 5-part series called The Rape of Britain. I've got episode 6 to do. You can watch it on Rumble. I spent 18 months with 12 girls, hearing their stories about the gangs, and we'd done a police-style investigation. When the men were named by 3 or more, we went after them and we went into their businesses and we showed people who they were. Now, at this time, my mum's neighbour said there was a car outside today, video in this little cul-de-sac, car of Asian men, there were video in your house. So I've got the number plate, I've got a private investigator, I found out who owned the car. 2-hour drive from the house. Dudley was where the car was. I found out who the owner was. I looked at his social media. He runs a cricket club. I looked at his social media. He's friends with 3 of the men I'm investigating. So he's drove 2 hours, he's friends with them, and he's outside my mum's. So I went the next day to his front door, knocked on the door. And I said to the lads, I knocked on the door. I had about 30 lads with me, but that's because I'm going into a Muslim area.
Yeah.
When I knocked, and his family answered, and he said, what are you doing here? I said, where is he? Is Imran. I said, where is he? He goes, he's not here. I said, ring him and tell him to come here. I said, tell your family I've got nothing to worry about here. No one here is here to do anything. I'm here to sort it out with your uncle, yeah? It was his uncle. I said, he's come to my mum's house. If he wants to drive 2 hours to my mum's house, I'm going to come here. Yeah. And every one of you need to know that. And then I said to the lads, if he comes and he comes outside and we square it off, then video it. If I win, we'll put the video online. If I don't, no one's ever going to see it. No one's ever seen it. And then he rang me up. He wouldn't come either. And he rang me up and he said, I sold the car. I said, bullshit, mate. Stop chatting shit. You've been caught. You were seen by the neighbour. But you need to know, and your grooming gangs and all your little wrong-uns need to know, you overstep the mark of going to family properties. Anyone can do that. I don't want to do that. I said to his family, they're really nice. Their nephew was really nice. I said, listen, and then I said, I will not share any of this footage or image of your house online now, yeah? I just needed your uncle to know. Don't come to my family's houses.
Yeah. If you enjoyed that reality-based podcast clip, make sure to subscribe to the reality-based YouTube channel. We'll be uploading many clips and the full podcast. And also, if you prefer the audible version, you can check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at Reality Based.